Welcome to the Dementialand Serial Podcast, a story for everyone who knows someone living in or near Dementialand. My name is Suzka, and this is my story. They lived with us. Maybe there were 20 or more. At one time, I counted 28. It started with one airhead, a huge round balloon. Popping out of the top of its head were two black eyes painted on transparent eye sockets. The balloon was filled with helium and was held in space by a thin gift ribbon that was clipped to the magazine rack at the groceries checkout counter. The card attached to its rubberneck read SKU 44751. I couldn't resist buying it. It looked as if it could pick you up, suck you out of yourself, and carry you away from computers, canvases, and slippery couches with unruly fallen sheets, away from mothers everywhere, mosquitoes, and the dementias. It might sound strange, but I kind of like this little guy. I bought SKU number 44751 and took him home. I pulled him by his long gift ribbon into the back room where my mother now lived. Oh, he was hesitant at first and lollygagged behind. I had to drag him most of the way. He eventually settled down, looked around at the new home, and landed his eyes on my mother. She was a bit taken back at first by the size of the large blue helium gift. She squeezed her face together and stared at the balloon's face, then quickly snubbed her head back to the window and began talking to a couple of birds that were sitting on an outside branch.
My daughter is a crazy person, bringing into my house such silliness, as if we were having a birthday party for a 5-year-old baby child. It's not my birthday, and I'm no damn child.
It's a gift, Mom. I thought it would brighten up the room a bit and make you smile.
Why do you waste your money on such silly things?
My mother ignored the smiling balloon and waved her hand frivolously in the air.
Now you go take him back, and you take him back right now.
Mom, it's a gift. I bought it just for you, and his name is SKU. And there's another thing. I was getting ready to check out, and I heard this voice.
Hey, psst, little girl, over here. It's your lucky day. Take me home and I'll change your life. I'll make Violet a happy lady.
True. Word for word. That is exactly what he said.
Now you're sounding like your father.
My father used those same words when he brought home stray dogs. According to my father, homeless dogs, particularly the dogs in pounds, they would jump on their cage doors and ask my father to take them home. All the pets we had at one time talked, but never spoke a word after my father brought them home and they began to be part of the family.
Don't tell me that goofy balloon talked to you. You are a crazy child. And what kind of a name is SKU?
She looked at me and shifted her eyes closer to the wide smile of the balloon.
You wasted your money. Take him back. Just take him back to the store.
You talked to birds, and you got the birds talking back to you, so what's the difference?
Birds are God's living creatures. Anyone can hear them speaking. They have little mouths with little voices inside.
She sunk her head into her shoulders and added tiny gestures to her reasoning.
I see them talking right in front of my ears. They talk in chirps and tweets, and I talk back to them and whistle, and words too sometimes. We understand each other. Oh, I don't even know why I'm talking to you about such things.
Mom, just give the poor guy a chance. He's kind of cute. On the back side of this SKU tag is the word Bert. That must be his name, Bert. I moved Bert to the end of the couch in full view of my mother and any visitor to see. A long string attached to a metal weight in the shape of a heart kept him grounded. The funny-faced balloon settled in the air and looked directly at Violet.
You must be Miss Violet. Hello. Let me introduce myself. I'm Bert.
After receiving no response whatsoever, the room's air drifted the balloon's head towards me.
She doesn't talk too much, does she?
Something changed when Bert was around. He brought a lightness into the room, dancing in the air's draft like a feather in a cloudy fog. This funny-faced balloon changed everything. As we walked around throughout the day, his popped-up eyes followed our every move. I started to like the little character. He made me smile. He made everyone smile. But as for my mother, she kept her distance and talked to the birds outside about her new visitor in the room. Pretty soon, balloons bore more balloons until they formed their own community. After Bert came Al, and then came Louie, and then there was Maury D, and of course then there was Cass and Honey Hunter. They were all large in size. Their heads were measuring as much as 3 feet in diameter. Ribbon legs determined their weight as well as their position. They moved left to right, turning around and rubbing up against each other on invisible drafts. Their flight was engorged by helium. Weights in their shoes kept them somewhat grounded, but did not prevent them from scooting closer to Violet, dragging their heart-shaped anchors behind them. Such queer heads lived with us. The balloon airheads were the first squatters that moved into Dementialand. They comfortably scattered themselves about everywhere. The balloons are funny creatures. I learned to love and appreciate their queer ways. They are able to float and skate above everything hard. Only a soft gift ribbon attached to their heart-shaped weights kept them from running away. But if they wanted to, they could escape and take you with them to a place where everyone is in love and flowers pick themselves. Window blinds once closed opened their eye slats, letting the outside in. Neighbors across the street lined up watching. They turned their faces toward the parade of new residents moving into Violet's house. Some they recognized from standing in line at the grocery store. Funny-looking characters tied to the displays at the checkout counters.
I heard Miss Violet's daughter from California moved in with her.
Isn't she one of those artist type?
I saw her once, a funny-looking girl.
Well, I hope Violet will be okay.
We can only pray.
Yes, that's all we can do now. God help that poor little thing. I don't think I could have lived in Dementialand without the Airheads. They set a tone that made all craziness palatable and even mysterious at times. Just their mere size, floating above our head, compelled all of us to look up, above the dementias, above the craziness. The balloons made sense of what seemed overwhelming and gigantic. It's strange, but even in their playful lightness, they kept us grounded. Thank you, and join the Airheads and I in the next episode. And don't forget to subscribe. The Airheads could use a little support.